Hi, Felicia.
Swear to God, Ryan.
What?
We can never not start at the same time.
I didn't know that was a thing that we did. I think
Well,
people like it. They can
do
sense
they?
our enthusiasm is what it is. They're like,
Okay,
these are two
yeah.
gentlemen that just love to podcast. They got podcasts
Mhm.
like coming out of their pores. That's what they say
Ew.
about us.
They no, no.
No, you know,
How's it been?
that's
How long
podcast.
has it been?
It's been too long. 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, too long.
Yep. I did a few vacations.
Yeah, nice. By the way,
Yeah. Yep.
yay.
How do you think our audience is doing?
I don't know. They don't. They don't.
I bet they
They
really
don't.
stick around when we take these long breaks like this.
They don't interact with us anymore. Probably because we're not consistent enough to be putting anything out.
We should I don't know. We should do something. We should reward our loyal listeners, all three of you. It's gotta be there's gotta be like 300,000. I think that's what the
Yeah,
number is.
that's very close to the number that
So I'll send a personalized message to each and every one of you. "Hey, you. How you doing?"
that's actually pretty easy to do.
Yeah. Yep. To 300,000 people? Maybe we should do what was that Cameo? Remember when cameos were a thing?
Yeah, cameos are still a thing, actually.
I got you a Cameo once for
You
your
did.
birthday
It's
a
still
long
one of
time
my
ago.
favorite things ever, and I go back and watch it every now and then.
Aw,
I
that's
know,
great.
super sweet. No, it was very much the perfect thing for me at the time.
If we had a Cameo right now, what would be the best possible cameo? Do we get Ronaldo in honor of the World Cup? He could just pop up right behind me and be like, "Hi, guys," and then just walk out of the room.
Yeah, I don't know enough about that to know who those people are.
Me
Mhm.
neither, but Seattle is a very soccery city, and we hosted some of the
We
World Cup.
hosted here too. Traffic was stupid. I was very mad about it. It
San
was. Well,
Francisco?
it's like Sunnyvale, somewhere nearby. There's like a bunch of little towns around San Jose, and I think it's Sunnyvale or
I watched 10
Santa
times.
Clara, maybe. But
That makes sense. Yeah, I saw 10 times more soccer this year than I have in my entire life combined.
I still have not seen any.
Wow. Oh, are
Yeah,
you growing
I
out
went
your
to
hair?
dinner with somebody once, and they were like, "Hey, you want to go watch the game?" I was like, "Nah, no, I'm good.
Nah, bro.
I don't need to."
You growing out your hair again, or are you gonna shave it?
The beard or my hair?
Hair.
I'm growing it out. It's too much maintenance being a baldy.
Yeah, how often do you have to, shave that bad boy?
Twice a week, and it takes, like, some time because if you wait longer than, like, a few days, it hurts when you shave it back down.
So do you
And
use,
so
like, a straight, like, an old-fashioned razor kinda deal?
the time it would take to do all that.
They don't have, like, a little, like, magical
They
machine?
do, it's called a skull, God, what is it called? It's a skull not skull crusher, but it's
That's a
like
good one.
what is it called? It's a skull something or other.
Speaking of,
Skull shaver,
have you
I guess.
seen, the He-Man movie, show? I mean, neither.
I've been replaying some video games and watching Drag Race, and next up I gotta watch the House of Dragon and Silo.
Have you watched any Silo?
I haven't, not of the new season, no.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I don't think I've watched the new season. I couldn't finish last season.
Why?
I don't know, she was, like, all alone in this silo, and then I fell asleep, and
I think that's gonna be the whole show, is her being either alone or with other people in a silo.
it bothers me, like, I don't know, I like her alright. Some of the actors are a little whatever.
I do have to say I was very sad that they started with Rashida Jones and killed off Rashida Jones
Yeah.
at the very beginning because I really love Rashida Jones. Spoiler alert! I guess I should have said that beforehand.
Does
I
she
love Rashida Jones, and they killed her off, and I was like, I like the actress that plays the main character. But I'm like, I wanted Rashida Jones.
would've been good. I like, who's in that? It's Common, right? I enjoy
Yeah,
his rap work, but I did not enjoy his acting in that particular thing.
yeah. I don't really have an opinion about it
Mm.
either. I don't know. I'm gonna restart. I don't know if I'll restart from the very beginning of the show, but at least some of the last couple episodes to catch me up before. But that's one of those shows that ends every episode with the cliffhanger. So I want to wait till all the episodes are out, so I don't have to have a cliffhanger every time I watch an episode
You
and
don't
not
want
have
that.
one to follow up with. One.
Did you watch Pluribus?
I did. Do they have another season coming out yet?
No, I just watched the first episode on a plane, and I was like, "Ooh." Maybe I
It's
should
pretty
watch.
good. It's pretty good. I my only critique without any spoilers is that after all the episodes, for me, it doesn't feel like it goes anywhere. Like
I heard it was
I'd say watch
slow.
it through, but I'm like I kept waiting for the big things to happen, and maybe that's what the show designed for. But the big things weren't happening for me, and I was like, and then when I finished the last episode, I was like, well, I hope they have another season because what is this?
Maybe that's the art of the show. It mirrors life. Everything seems to be going crazy, and we keep waiting for the big thing to happen, and the big thing never happens. I don't know.
I mean, could be.
Performance art.
Could be. Yeah, I mean, the big thing's going to happen
Sure,
at some point.
sure.
It's just never as big as we think it might be, probably.
Mm, that's what
I don't
she
know.
said.
Shut up.
And on
Look,
that
right
note,
into that one. Didn't expect you to throw that one at me.
I don't do a lot of that's what she said, but hey,
Hey,
sometimes you gotta. So what we got a few things today, don't we?
yeah, you do, apparently.
No, I think we've probably sent each other like 100 great topics. We just
Yeah,
said about
Brian
by the
sent
time
me
we actually
one, and
record.
I sent him one, so we each have one for today.
Well, if you go back, there's a decent amount. Where the heck did it go? I just had you on here. There you are. And I had gone back a few weeks to this one. What's that? God, David, why are you always texting me? Oh, what do you think about this one? I don't know if this is a good place to start, but we never will know until we start. This is from LinkedIn. Um, Here's what it says. A client came to me after 4 years of weekly therapy with another practitioner. She was not in crisis. Why are you giving me that look?
Because it wasn't the thing that you sent me, and so I was like, I
No,
don't
it's
know this thing.
from a little while ago, I guess.
Go ahead and read it.
From a month ago.
Okay.
She was not in crisis. She was not worse than when she started. She described the therapy as helpful, the relationship as warm, and the sessions as something she looked forward to. She also said she had no idea what she was working toward. That termination had never been discussed, that she had once asked her therapist what they might think about ending, and had been told that was entirely up to her. That answer is not client centered, she says. It is an abdication of clinical responsibility dressed as autonomy. I like that. I like that provocative language there. Termination is one of the most important clinical decisions in any therapeutic relationship. It requires the therapist to hold a clear formulation of what the work is for, what progress looks like, and what the end point is, not rigidly, but deliberately. A therapist who has no answer to when we might think about ending has no treatment frame. They have a relationship. Relationships are valuable. They're not the same as therapy. The profession in India has a retention problem that is not discussed honestly because discussing it requires therapists to examine whether some of what they are holding on to is in the client's interest or in their own. Our job is not to have a job, yada yada. What do you think, David Cato? Are you a therapist who clearly spells out termination?
A lot of opinions on this, as you would think I might.
Lay it on us.
Gosh, where do I start? The first of which is if I was working in residential treatment and I had a client in my care that had had the same therapist for 20 years and they're now in a place of residential treatment, I feel like something may not have been working in that relationship. Unless it was like some big thing happened, but let's say their depression gets worse or they become suicidal and they haven't really had any periods of wellness like in their 20 years with their therapist. Like the therapist maybe should have seen signs sooner, one, but also two, the therapist should have been able to say, hey, what are your treatment goals? Where are we going with your treatment goals? Are you meeting them? If you're not, let's revisit or let's reevaluate that I'm whether or not I'm the right fit as a therapist for you. Number one. Number two is says a client came to me after 4 years of weekly therapy with another practitioner, not in crisis, not worse. Therapy helpful. The relationship was warm. Session something she looked forward to. Didn't know what she was working toward. That's where the therapist messed up, and that they didn't have well defined treatment goals. Or maybe the client switches therapists sometimes. Like there's a lot of different ways to look at this. I think to blame either the client or the therapist is the wrong thing to do. I think it's really more of a procedural thing because I know there's been so many therapists to hold on to clients for too long when they don't feel comfortable saying, "Hey, I don't know that I'm helping you the way
Mhm.
you need to be helped." I feel like I'm rambling now.
I think I mostly agree with the post. I mean, there are different types of therapy,
Mhm.
right? And some of them have clear and discrete treatment episode and end and termination. Some are going to be a lot more clear about that. But I think even if you're doing, psychoanalysis doesn't really have a clearly defined endpoint at all. Relational approaches, maybe not. But I think the therapist has to be able to verbalize that. You are choosing to have a therapeutic relationship that doesn't have that level of structure, then you've got to be able to speak to that as a therapist and say, actually, in this form of therapy, we don't really do it that way. I think that's where I agree with this therapist. The person that she's talking about or the therapist, it's kind of a wishy-washy answer, like, "Oh, whenever you want." That's not a good answer to that question.
But also, how do we know the therapist said that to the client?
You don't.
We don't, right?
How do you know that this therapist who posted it isn't spending a lot of their time in session with this client talking about how another, it's
That's
interesting,
another thing. Tell me about how this therapist failed you. Tell me all the ways that it didn't
right?
work.
Why are we spending this session right now talking about another therapist? We can certainly do that, but
If it doesn't work and move on. If the therapist didn't, because I'm not hearing anything here that's unethical that therapist did, right? It might be bordering on not good care if they're not setting treatment goals and helping them understand what they're working on, or at least they're not in their own words of what they're working on, you know?
yeah. No, I think there's something to what you're saying about like how do you even know that this is
Legit.
legit, a straightforward communication. If a client
Yeah.
comes to me and in their first session just shits on their previous therapist, is this your way of indirectly communicating to me what you need from therapy? Because I'm probably going to ask you,
Hmm.
is this your way of telling me what you need from therapy? Why don't we make the topic of conversation what you need from therapy rather than how therapy has failed you in the past? Because one of those is forward facing and one of those is not.
Let's put your treatment plan together that involves the things that you feel like you missed out on in your other therapy. That way,
Sure.
we're not talking about how this therapist failed you, but we're talking about how you can move forward with me, the new therapist.
I also want to ask this person in their first session straight up, how am I going to know if I'm not meeting your expectations? Because if you've gone 4 years without communicating your dissatisfaction to another therapist and then you sort of ran,
I,
that's
mhm.
something. Maybe that's part of why you're here.
I think this comes back to why we have a problem within our field of therapists not having the hard conversations. The therapist not saying to the client, hey, well, what do you feel isn't working? Or confronting them on their stuff, because so many therapists just want to keep the therapeutic relation. Like, when I hear that someone's had a therapist for 20 years, I'm like, yikes. I don't want to work with somebody 20 years. Like, I know there are people that I'd love to see weekly for 20 years, but also, like, at what point am I not serving them if they're just coming into session? They're just like, hey, I've had a good week. I don't really have anything I want to talk about. And then I'm trying to engage them and they're like, no, I'm good. I'm good, bro. And it's like, why are you paying me to be here?
Why are you here? I get like it's your,
It's
it's
like,
your session. If you don't want to talk about a specific thing, then let's not talk about a specific thing. But why are you paying me lots of money to?
well, and that's when I come back to treatment goals, and I'm like, let's recall your treatment goals and see what they say. Remember how you said you want to work on this? Well, I don't want to talk about that. I'm in a good mood. Okay, well, then let's talk about why you don't want to talk about it. You're paying me to do this thing with you. This is
Let's
why
talk
I'm
about the
here.
thought that talking about something negative is going to ruin your mood. Let's talk
Mhm.
about that. Why is that? Why does that have to be the truth? The case.
I and that's what I always bring in, like, when I'm supervising folks, like, if they're like, "Oh, I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere with this person," or, "I feel stuck," or "They seem stuck," I'll be like, "Revisit the treatment plan. Go back to your treatment plan goals and see what it is. Like, remember when you first started working with me? This is what you wanted to accomplish, and this is how we get that accomplished."
Yeah. If you feel stuck, they feel stuck. I
Mhm.
guarantee it. What do you
Yeah.
think? Somehow my LinkedIn like plugged me into this whole like therapists of India community, and I'm always curious, like because most of what they talk about as you say, the profession in India sounds to me very, very similar to what we're dealing with in the US. But
Mhm.
I don't know. Do you get a lot of therapists of India post.
I don't scroll through LinkedIn at all.
Yeah,
That's probably why I don't have a big following because I just post and I run away. I don't comment or interact. I just post and I leave.
I don't even post anymore. I go on and look at it for about 1 or 2 posts, and then I'm just like, "Ugh, people."
Mhm.
You know, I think that the loudest voices are really setting the agenda for what we're talking about in mental health. And maybe that's okay because I don't think we were talking about the right things before that anyway, but you just got a lot of people saying really weird stuff that
One of the things I thought about doing is just like finding the bravery to just be unhinged and just post unhinged therapy things.
Uh-huh. I feel like I would be I think about that all the time, but I think I would become a troll.
I think I'm okay with becoming a troll. Well, just because most of LinkedIn and most of Facebook and most of social media now is all AI. Do you know about the dead internet theory? Did we talk about
Yeah.
that? So it's like the dead internet theory is real. The internet is dying. And if it's like, if we could just have some fun and not care about what people think, like I'm in this new life, who this part of my life where I'm like, I don't care about what people think of me. And I'm just
Yeah.
really enjoying that, you know? And I really am grateful for where I'm at and what I have right now because it really helps fuel that. I'm grateful for people like you that I have in my life. And, it's just there's the way we surround ourselves with those people who are so important to us.
What?
Alexa, stop.
Well,
She's always listening.
see, she is. I don't do Alexa.
Why
Alexa is
not?
literally always listening.
What do you do?
I don't have Alexa enabled on any of my
What is
stuff.
this? What is this though?
I'm sure that my phone is listening anyway, but it's not hooked up. "Hey, Alexa." Nothing happens.
It's Siri. Hey Siri.
Oh, whatever, whatever. I'll have either of them. I'm not letting anything listen to me. They are
You are
anyway.
you are delusional, delulu,
Why am
delulu.
I Delulu? They literally if you have Siri on your phone and you have it enabled for voice activation, it's always listening to you.
They're listening to you no matter what.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm sure that they are.
That was the delulu part.
It
They're
would
always
be it would be, it would be the most boring thing in the world. I don't think they are listening. I don't think anybody's actively listening. I think they could in a second if they wanted to.
I think they gather tidbits of
Sure.
information.
Yeah.
Also, I was talking about something the other day, and then the next day, cheerleaders. Joey and I were talking about we were making a joke about male versus female cheerleaders at coffee on Saturday morning. And I saw a post about cheerleaders the next day, and I was like, I never look up anything cheerleaders. I never talk about cheerleaders, what is happening.
Absolutely. What's this one that you sent? I didn't get
Okay,
the whole
let's
thing.
read it because it pissed. No, you sent one. Is it the one you sent that pissed me off more?
I can read.
Yours is longer, but yeah, let's do the one I sent since it's shorter. I didn't read the article. I was gonna read the article, but then when I went to look at the article, it was like the article you had to like pay for it, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. But
Uh,
basically, it said, and it's such clickbait. It says, as a therapist, the short answer is yes, but there's more to it. Read about it in an article I wrote, and I'm like, girl, I'm not reading. But the title says, and again, I don't know what the context of it is. Are therapists to blame for the rise of adults cutting off their parents? And then the subtext is many moms and dads believes that their adult children are getting bad advice, and a growing number of researchers agree everything becomes trauma. Okay. So I want to know out the gate what your thoughts are about this because I have lots of thoughts.
not so thoughts.
Lots of thoughts.
I mean, I'm sure that there are bad therapists giving advice to people all the time to
Therapists should not be giving advice. Number one. Rule
and
number
many
one.
of them do. I mean, I don't there's a lot of there's just a lot going on here. Is there a problem with people with adults cutting off their parents? I didn't realize that was like a giant problem. I do think we live in a society where cutting somebody off is
A boundary.
easier than it's ever been because you could just block them or you can mute them or you can like I don't know, being behind screens gives us a lot of power to cut people out of our lives. So I do think that it's something of a thing. I don't know that therapists have a lot to do with it, but the sort of sage life advice where people are like, you don't need to have these people in there, there's something to that, I guess. But it's so
Well,
baity. It's so rage baity. It's so
The post is
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean,
no.
the post and then the follow-up post.
Yeah, well, and the way and I try to read the comment, but the comments seem like they're all written in AI because I can't understand any of it, and I'm just like, maybe I'm not smart enough to understand it. It's not for me, but I just didn't resonate with any of the comments that were there. But my take on this is there are more people setting boundaries with their parents because there are more people are becoming more brave to set boundaries that they've never really set before. And when you set boundaries over and over and over again, and you let people walk over them, you're going to be unhappy. But if you have a therapist, for example, supporting someone in keeping their boundaries, that's also where those cutting off can happen. I also see people talk about it on social media where they're like, I cut off my parents because my mom X and X and X or such, or whatever the case may be. It's like people are cutting off family members because they can
Right.
and because it, as you said, it's easier now to do that. Most kids end up moving away from their parents anyway, and they don't have to like see them on a regular basis, so it's easy to just be like block.
Yeah. I think just to be equally rage baity, I don't know, if you're a parent and your kid isn't talking to you, their therapist might not be the first place to look. I'm not saying that it's your fault if your adult children aren't talking to you, but if your first instinct is it must be that fucking therapist. Yeah.
But never telling someone like you need this or you have to do that. It's like, no, give it a shot and see if it feels right for you. And if it fits, let it be.
Sure. I mean, I do think in general, we are overly hasty as a society right now to cut people off. But at the
I
same
agree.
time, if you feel like you got to do it, then just do it. I'm
And
thinking
what
like I worked with this person once, different job, and they were like, they had this feud with another employee. And they'd argue and bicker, and one of them just said to me, "I'm just not going to talk to him at all anymore." And I'm like, "Honey, that's not no. This is this is a workplace. You
you have
cannot choose
to
not to talk to your coworker. I'll lock you two in a room and you can figure it out, but that is not a choice you can make. If you are choosing not to communicate with that coworker, there's going to be a choice that you're not able to work here anymore.
uh,
This is the way that this
yeah.
thing works. Hey, in this particular instance, it's certainly not done anything that bad. It was a personality clash, but I guess that's an example of, sometimes in our society we promote these sort of cutoffs in
Mhm.
places where it's not healthy. I think in many circumstances a person can make a lot of progress by talking to the person that they're upset with. And then in
Mhm.
other circumstances, sure, just you tried it, didn't work, move on.
Mhm. Well, and that's a really good point, and because there are going to be times where we don't want to talk to somebody, and we literally have to because it's our job or it's somebody we're going to see. But it brings me back always to the discussion about attachment because if you're taking off people out of your life, cutting people out of your life, that could be considered your avoidant attachment, right? And that could be the result of their disorganized attachment. Like there could be so many things going on here. And what I know as an attachment therapist is yes, I know there are times when people need to cut certain family members out of their life, but I also know that we get the opportunity to try to heal those relationships too if we want to. And
Sure.
sometimes that does mean that we're in therapy, family therapy, in order to do that. There has to be a willingness. But I've also talked to people and have seen people who are like, I've tried to do family therapy and my mom won't go. And there's just no way I can engage her in that. Those are certain things that come up, but I believe that relationships can heal if both or all parties want them to. But so many people just don't care to do that and they just let whatever happen happen.
Yeah. And it's all fine. We're judging, like this is just inherently judging people. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
There are certainly people who cut others out of their life more quickly than perhaps is good for them. There are people that don't cut people out of their lives, and that's probably not to their benefit. But you know what? You do you.
Hmm.
Know yourself and know what you need to do to take care of yourself and grow as a person. Like I'm the sort of person, I don't know, I'm very avoidant attachment style. So I'll easily be like, oh, whatever, you don't exist to me anymore. And that's not good for me though. Like a big part of me growing up and a big part of me, yeah, maturing is just realizing A, you shouldn't do that. And B, what do you do when somebody, whatever, it makes you angry or
Hmm.
makes you sad? And how do you actually confront that by moving forward? So for me, yeah, I should probably not cut people out of my life. And I've
Mhm.
never cut anybody out of my life, but I should not do that as often as I do. But other people have the opposite problem. But then you've got people who need to sell newspapers, who write articles, and then people who need to get on LinkedIn. So they try to, yeah, people.
You and I should start doing papers and articles and
I feel like I would hate myself immediately.
it's not
I
my
think I have
vibe for
all sorts of
sure.
brilliant things to say, but nothing so valuable that it needs to be thrown into this stew of media that exists
Mhm.
out there.
Yeah, it's for sure not my vibe. Like,
Yeah.
totally.
All the things I have to say probably won't be well received because it is like burn it all down and start over,
You have all
destroy
the
the
AI
internet.
trolls trolling you in the comments.
My if I always I tell everybody if at some point I'm a supervillain, definitely my thing was I chose to destroy the internet.
Mm,
That's what would propel me
we
into
talked about
supervillainy.
that. We talked about that before.
Yeah, yeah, I would
Yeah.
do it. If you showed me a switch on the wall and it said, "If you pull this switch, the internet's destroyed forever," I'd be like,
But we wouldn't be able to do this right now if you did that. Wait,
"What?
what's
Well,
on the agenda next time?
more of the same. More of the same. When is next time? Should we should we continue to pretend like we're gonna do this every week? Should we set some new
So every
standards?
week doesn't make sense, right? Or
Sure.
does it for you?
I don't know. I think I don't mind the idea of every week.
Let's shoot weekly. Let's see, and then we'll end up doing every other week. Let's shoot for weekly because if we say every other week, we'll end up doing monthly or less than. So
Or we just say every other week, and if you have to miss one, we gotta do it the week
on a
before or the
different
week
night.
after.
Okay. Okay, that works.
All right.
All right. So twice a month.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Every other week on Monday, but twice a month we can call it.
If you people listening have topics or thoughts, you better send them along. If any of you are psychologists in India and you'd like to come on and guest and talk to us about the state of psychology in India and whether it is or is not similar to the state of psychology in the US, it'd be fascinating. Like I honestly sit there and I study these posts and I'm like, I wonder what they're
You
referring to. I wonder what the vibe is. It would be really interesting to know because it doesn't feel like a psychology community that we're very connected to. But
you know
who
what I
knows?
didn't do this time that I should have done? I put a post out and got a ton of comments about what people wanted to hear about, and I totally forgot to talk about it.
Uh, We'll do that next time.
We'll do that next time. So 2 weeks from today,
2 weeks from today. You heard it here.
if y'all put in Facebook comments a while back, this would be the time. And don't worry, I'll put in the caption too, so you know I'm not baiting you this time. But 2 weeks from today, we will record the episode where we start covering some of those topics that y'all requested. Yay. Sorry about that. It's just been so long. I wanted to catch up with Brian and we did whatever else we had. So
Whatever else we had.
yay.
All right. Well, people,
All right.
keep on keeping on. That's okay. I think that's good.
Brian is busy. So y'all have a
I
great
was
night and a
updating
great
my
couple
little
weeks.
thingy to make sure that we did every other week.
All
I'm
right.
updating. Maybe. Like next Sunday, I'm going to text you, like, are we on for tomorrow? And you'll be like, no, we talked about every other week. That's my memory.
All right. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. This is Therapy Code. I'm David Cato.
Bye, Felicia. I'm Ryan.
Y'all have a great couple weeks. We'll see you next time.
Hey, doggies.
My dogs are ready. They know I'm saying goodbye. So they're like, let's go.
Let's go. Bye.
Bye.